Deleted session, June 21, 1978. Now you are, of course, taught that any meaningful endeavor takes a great amount of effort of a certain kind. The exertion of the will, the utilization of the time in an organized fashion, and this can promote acute greater determination in some people. In a sense, to give up all effort is almost blasphemous in the light of predominating beliefs to the contrary. Eastern religions are the only ones that even remotely try to approach such a principle, and they do so in highly distorted fashions. Western religion and science promote the ideas of competition, effort, and emphasis upon the will, devolved from the imagination, so that to give up all effort can be read as an abdication of responsibility, an indication of laziness and sloth, or in fundamental Christian terms, the devil finds work for idle hands. In a strange fashion, desire promotes action, seemingly without effort, or the effort seems so natural, so spontaneous, and so joyful that it is not recognized as effort in the old fashion. The great artists did not use their abilities so much through the utilization of will and effort, as they did through following their own natural impulses, desires, and intents. These form a true sense of purpose, so that the aspects of the will and the effort fall naturally into place to bring about the desires. Parts of original Christianity did indeed speak of this letting go of effort. In a curious fashion, such letting go of effort might well result in an increased abundance of creativity, for example. But the mental and the psychological set allows an individual to become more aware of the basic motivations of the personality that show themselves quite clearly through the impulses and through desires, particularly when they are not overlain by layers of I must, I should, or I must do this or that. Such thoughts cut down on both impulses and action by setting up invisible barriers. For example, Ruber might think, I must make up my mind, go out into the world, do lectures and tours, state my case, be an excellent example of the material, not only in normal physical condition, but in glowing health. Or I must stay at home, hide from the world, keep myself restrained lest I give into images of self-grandeur. Either course, a true letting go of effort leads to the realization that the impulses of the personality innately know if the self's best path, and only when someone begins to doubt those impulses and their validity do difficulties arise. The letting go of effort should be also a mental and psychological stance applied not only to Ruber's physical dilemma, but to his and your relationships with the subjective and objective worlds. Again, such letting go will indeed always promote action and get you off dead center, so to speak. This is not a statement of passivity in conventional terms, but a creative releasing of the basic personality from the restraints of hampering beliefs. Now, recently, that phrase has been introduced into your suggestions because you are so used to the belief in exerting such effort. In the beginning, as I mentioned, some fear can be involved as you begin to let the effort go, while watching to see that you aren't blacksiding instead or being irresponsible. This letting go happens naturally just before the initiation of any creative endeavor. Robert expressed some fear, but overall has handled it well. I do want to make the point that that state of mind should be applied whenever possible to all areas of your lives. Now, physically, The burning sensations are the result of stretching. Often, say, the back areas of the leg will be loose and comfortable, while the topside knee portion might be sore. This means that the relaxation of the back muscles and ligaments is allowing new stretching of ligaments connected with the knee, and the condition might be reversed the next day or in an hour. The same applies to the arms. The feet are coming along accidentally, so that they will be flexible enough as rubber works more. That is, they will be able to manipulation in concert with the changed positions that the legs are now beginning to achieve. It is true he has not been walking much, and it would take a saint to ignore that fact. The body is making necessary changes, however. The chair activity keeping the knees limber enough while undue strain is not placed upon the body at this time. The change in chairs is excellent, and shows that the hips are changing also. Whether you have noticed or not, he has begun to gain weight again, and there are multitudinous small new motions, particularly in the bathroom, that he is scarcely aware of as yet. The material he received from me, Ram noted Monday evening, said was from me, and his suggestion that you work late that evening was the result of a creative impulse on his part. The material on variety is rather important, and also is connected with the fact that I suggested he forget the work sessions for a while. It is quite effective to read such sessions regularly, then to drop them for a week or so for other material and go back to them. The unconscious, in its own way, digests the initial material in the interim. In your situation, variations are important, since they exist in an overall stable framework. The body utilizes both energy and chemicals differently at night. When you are awake for periods of time during those hours, very refreshing conditions exist mentally and physically. You might in parentheses put that this is connected with the waking-sleeping patterns prevalent on Earth, to which you referred some time ago. It was natural enough for a while that Ruber be quite aware of bodily sensation when he tried to give up all effort, but he is beginning now to sense the body's pattern of activity, its relaxation, its stretching periods, and so forth. One important point. He gobbles its brains, emphasizes it, studies it, and that quality also means that his bodily sensations are treated in the same manner. That is why the concentration upon the moment, upon his writing, upon, say, meals, immediately helps to take his mind off his body. Remember desire in terms of Ruber's wanting to vacuum a rug, or whatever, and encourage those desires rather than an attitude of I must do something physical today. The letting go of effort will indeed more and more release such desires. Ruber has to considerably extent largely disposed of the habit of negative projections, though he still catches some now and then, except for the point of power. He has not actively promoted his desire to work normally, and this was relatively wise, for as he begins to let go of effort, he was not tempted to think of contradictions, as he might have had he more actively encouraged those desires. So now we come to imagination and desire. When these are utilized properly, you do not need effort, for effort becomes effortless. It is and it is not. When Ruber feels he understands this, without taking any special time, let him think of using desire and imagination together, purposefully disconnecting them from this exercise from willpower or effort, and seeing himself shopping with you in a store or walking a beach in Florida or anything else that automatically comes to mind. Now the will can be used, but when there are divisions, then the impulses and the imagination should be released in such a fashion and they will then mobilize the will in such a way that action is united. Do you have questions? I tried to cover the most important points. Ralph said, I guess not. C said, the session should be read carefully, and the sessions given to thread of the body emphasized now, instead of, say, the work sessions. Again, for now. I add a humorous note. The north-south orientation of the bed does have advantages. End of session, and a fond good evening. Ralph said, thank you.